Catholic, and then how many Christian? You know, like what's the general attitude? You know, like are they like, cool, the Catholics are here, or are they like, oh God, the Catholics are here?
Well, it depends on the issue. To be very honest with you, it depends on the issue. There's probably 2 Catholics who, in the entire legislature, who are happy to see me, and not all the whole, 2 Catholics who are happy to see me on any issue I come to them.
Right.
That will vote the right way just because it's what the Catholic Church teaches. That's 2. And so, and even then, it's sometimes a little bit difficult. But by and large, they don't necessarily vote according to what the church teaches, but you know, the positions of their party. So if I'm there in support of their party's position on a bill, they're happy to see me and want to hear everything I have to say about what the church has to say about an issue. If I'm not there, then they say, well, you know, we respectfully disagree. This isn't dogma of the Catholic Church, so we don't necessarily have to agree with it. And you know, they make their stuff, and that happens on both sides of the aisle. It's very common. I would say in terms of numbers, we have, I would say about 15 Catholics total out of 100. That's House and Senate. After that is large percentage of evangelicals, and a large percentage of people who just don't practice it, who have no faith.
Oh, no faith.
Who don't ascribe to any sort of teaching tradition. And then I would say we probably have a handful, less than 5 Jews in the legislature, and we have 1 Hindu.
But the Christian representation, or I guess you're saying people really don't vote.
No.
They're vote Christian beliefs.
Very rarely. Very rarely.
Do you think most of them go to church on Sunday?
I would say the vast majority, no. Any other questions, thoughts, comments that I can answer for anybody?
Does the church usually stand behind like specific candidates during like elections? Or?
No, we can't. So because we are a 501c3, we can't support a party and we can't support candidates. We can support issues. So the church occasionally will take positions on ballot initiatives that are on the ballot if it's something that we feel we have to be involved in, or if it's important that we're involved and our voice will make a difference in some of those issues. So we can take positions on any type of ballot initiative, any type of policy issue that arises, including a lot of local churches this past election. Local Catholic churches got involved in some of their marijuana city initiatives. They were very involved. A lot of times we will partner together with other denominations to work on different issues, depending on what the issue is. So there's a lot that happens even at a much more local level with some of the churches, but by and large, no, we cannot take positions on candidates or parties.
In a 2-party system where one party believes in abortion and one party believes in capital punishment, how do you?
That's a very good question. It's a very good question. It's one that a lot of Catholics struggle with. A lot. I would encourage all of you, if you haven't read yet and you're interested in these kind of issues, Archbishop Shepp, he wrote a book called Render Unto Caesar, and it's he explores some of these issues about how do Catholics view these issues and how are we to think about them, especially in light of voting and our election process. It's a really easy read. It's a quick read, but it's a really fascinating book. It talks a lot about the history of Catholic thinkers and politicians in the United States, and just really the tremendous impact that the church has had on social movements, on politics, and things that even people who are deeply imbued in politics might not have any kind of indication of the impact that the Catholic Church specifically has had on really important issues. For example, Archbishop Rummel, who was Archbishop of New Orleans, actually desegregated all of the Catholic churches and Catholic schools in the diocese long before the Civil Rights Movement happened. And he did it peacefully. And he's credited with, even though he had a lot of Catholics revolting against him in the legislature, threatening to take away the church's ability to operate in the state of Louisiana, he threatened them with excommunication. He told them that if they tried to do that through a legislative process, they would not be welcome to participate fully in the life of the church, and they backed down, and they listened, and they didn't do the things that they were threatening to do in the legislature, and it was an amazing process to see. He's sort of one of the unsung heroes of the civil rights movement. I mean, he's not somebody you hear about when people talk about the civil rights movement in the United States, yet he accomplished something with no violence that was truly amazing and unheard of at that time in history. So there's a lot of different things that the church has played a hand in that most Catholics don't know about. And so I would really encourage you, if you're interested in these kind of issues, to pick up Archbishop Shepke's book and give it a read. Great. Well, I really appreciate you guys listening tonight, and hopefully I'll spark some interest in some of you to get involved in some of these issues. But if you ever have any other questions about the process, my office is right across the street. You're free to email me, call me, whatever you need. And also, if any of you are interested, it's getting kind of to the end of session now, but either this year or next year, please come to the Capitol and visit and just see how the process works and sit in a committee hearing. I'd be happy to take any of you around and introduce you to your legislators and just have the opportunity to see how the process works.